Hi everyone. I am going live today. I haven't done it for a while. Sometimes I think I don't know what anyone wants to hear from me. But with Halloween coming up, that is a topic I'm happy to talk about and share some tips on because I love Halloween and very few people in my family do. So even before kids, we hosted the Halloween get together with family. And it was a lot of fun. And then when we had kids, we continued to host it with my family, and we did the whole trick or treating and all the stuff leading up to it. So I do have some tips that I can share. Hopefully you can join in or watch the replay. I will drop links that I mention in the comments. I hope you can hear me because I haven't done it for a while. So I have it kind of set up on this really weird selfie stick system, and there's a chair on my dining room table to be able to film it. So hello, if you're joining now, I'm going to share some Halloween tips. So with Halloween coming up, costumes are done. I'm assuming some of you have them ready to go, unless you have kids who aren't sure what they want to be still. Mine had decided what they want to be in April, and I'm not joking. When they start, usually every year, early in the summer, maybe not April early, this year was early, they start to decide what they want to be, and then they stick with it. It rarely changes. So my daughter is Rey from Star Wars, and my son's going to be Kylo Ren. We got the costumes at the Disney store, and they are super awesome. So I'm really excited to see them all dressed up and ready to go in those. So a couple tips to share. When you're having Halloween, if you're doing the trick-or-treat thing, even when your kids are little, what we do is when the kids get home from school, because we know they're going to be eating junk all night. I mean, it's just, I eat junk all night on Halloween. So I accept that. But the moment they get home from school and into supper, we try to do the healthy eating time then. So school snack, after school snack is something a bit healthier. And supper, sometimes we do, because my family comes over, we're either going to do a potluck or a buffet, crock pot chili or something, or we've done pizza in the past with everyone. But leading up to that, I try to focus on the healthier stuff. So I get yogurt in them, fruit and veggies, that kind of thing. And what I think really helps my kids is I feed them before company comes. Because as soon as the cousins are here, they just want to go off and play. And actually they clock watch more than anything because they just want to go and get their clothes on. So they are going to eat supper probably before everyone comes. They could pick a bit more when everyone's here, but I'll likely have them pretty well fed, so I'm at least happy with how much food is in their stomach before they hit all the yummy stuff. So that's one tip. Another tip is the trick-or-treat bag. Super cute. These are really cute, these little pumpkin boxes, and the little ones, especially if you have a toddler or a preschooler, you probably want to send them in this. Here's my tip. Bring your grocery bag anyway, because it doesn't take long. Sometimes, even if you're going to a few houses, it doesn't take long for these to fill up or get really heavy for them. So what I do is I would bring, now the kids are older, it's different, but when they were little, I would bring the grocery bag and then I could dump it in here if they still wanted to go out to a few houses. And if you happen to get to a house that had pop or something a bit heavy, instantly the bucket was too much for them. So that's one tip. And speaking of going out, if there's a cold night, we're Canadian Halloweeners, we always dress with stuff under our costumes. It's just how we had to do it. And we probably, you're either wearing a snowsuit on top, depending on the weather, or at the very least, really thick things underneath. The first thing that goes with my kids, and they're pretty good, even when it's cold out, they can get through most things, it's their hands. So bring a pair of gloves, even if they think they don't want it at first. They probably won't need it to start, but bring the gloves to start or whenever you're ready, because they'll at some point turn to you and say, I'm too cold, or my hands are cold, and nothing else will be. They'll be fine otherwise, and they won't want to stop. Bring a pair of gloves just to have. Jamie says that you had pillowcases. We totally had the pillowcases, and my son is determined this year to bring a pillowcase that he wants to carry on his own. I'm guessing, because it has no handles, I will have to do like your parents did and have one to dump into, because at some point he will get sick of carrying that. He might not do too bad, but without handles on the pillowcases, that's going to bug him. But I love the pillowcases. That's old school. So bring the gloves to stay warm. When the kids get home, I think probably everyone still does it. We always do the candy review. And I know, it's well, is there really, do it. I think it's worth it. There's sometimes in there, it's not that we get suspicious things, it's just sometimes there's things in there that I don't want the kids to have anyway, or I'm not familiar with it, or it might be half ripped open by accident. So I do the review and get rid of it, stuff that I don't want. What I do is for things that I don't like or want them to have that are still okay, I put them back in my give out bowl. So that as the night goes on, I don't need all those suckers for my guys, and I don't want to eat them. I want the chocolate. So I put them back in my bowl and I give them out as we're still giving out. Because usually we go first thing when it gets dark and we're back while there's still kids coming. So this way I get to reuse it. It's not going to go in the trash, but we're just not going to eat it. So someone else may enjoy it. And then the candy does not go in their rooms. And I know when I grew up, we all took our pillowcases full of stuff and brought it to our bedrooms because then it was just ours. I don't do that. We do a communal basket, usually like the pumpkin basket. We do a communal basket for the family. And then over the course of the Halloween week, I drop some in the school lunches. They get some after school, of course, and we kind of eat it down. A couple reasons I do this. Yeah, my kids are older, they're 7 and 9, but they're still not old enough to have candy in their room. It's just not, even if I think that they will make some good decisions, it's just not where I need to be at with them right now. Because even then, they're just going to want to eat more. And as it is, they eat plenty when it's off the counter. The second reason is, if it's in their room, they're going to start counting it, and they're going to start keeping track of how many chocolate bars they have left, and that makes it a lot harder for me to take them during the day when they're at school. So everything goes in the bucket. I get to eat what I'm going to eat when they're gone, and eventually, magically, all the stuff is suddenly gone one day, and they haven't really noticed when it disappears. So they get plenty. I'm not worried. And I think the final tip I had written down was to take photos. Now that's an easy part because all of us are taking pictures of our kids in their costumes and we're probably posting to Facebook or Instagram, and that's fun. But what we try to do, because my family's all over, is we take photos of the group, because every year then we look at these pictures and it's super, super cute. But we also take photos while we're trick-or-treating or whenever they're getting ready, because it's those behind the scenes, in the moment photos I think that are a lot of fun too. We usually take a photo when they come home and they dump all of their loot, because it's just always a ridiculous amount of candy and it's super fun, and they look back on those memories, and I really like that. Last year, and if you have older kids, my guys were as into it last year, and I'll post the link. Last year we did a photo booth, so I had a backdrop and then little signages with boo and eek and stuff on it, and then a whole bunch, because we have a costume bin galore downstairs, a whole bunch of just masks and stuff that everyone could take turns putting on different things and then taking photos for the photo booth. So it's just something fun to do if you're having a crowd or a get-together, or if you want to get the adults more involved. The photo booth was a fun way of doing it. But don't forget to take your photos, because those are the fun memories for Halloween. Yeah, so those are kind of where I was at. We have, I think, 12 people coming on Monday, something like that. Halloween's on a weekday, which is super fun because it means the kids are up late eating candy. I'm sorry, teachers. I send them the next day, and that will be great. It will be early bedtime, though, whenever they come home Tuesday. So we'll readjust, and it doesn't take too long to get back into a routine. So drop me a note in the comments. I have a few posts that I can share with you. With one is I'll share my recipe for sugar cookies that I use every year, because if you have pumpkin or bat cookie cutters, what's fun too is just making them on the weekend coming up, or having them ready for Monday, and then they can decorate them after school. Because what you will find when they come home on Monday is they will be extremely excited to go out trick-or-treating, and you will probably have 3 or 4 hours before you can actually go. So you're going to want to keep them a little bit busy and not have them running around in their costume waiting the whole time. So I'll post a couple links below, and if you want to drop me a note if you have questions or ideas of what you do for your Halloween, I would love to hear it. So thanks very much for tuning in. I hope to do more live once I figure out some topics. If you have topic ideas, send them to me. And otherwise, I'll just randomly pick something. Thanks very much, and have a good weekend.